Writing a two-column proof, example 6. So, taking into account the figure, we are given that AD is congruent to CB. If you take a look at that, they both have one tick mark. We're also given that DC is congruent to BA. Both of those in the diagram have two tick marks. And then we're given that angle ACD is congruent to angle CAB. They both have two tick marks. And angle CAD is congruent to angle ACB. They both have one tick mark. We have to prove that triangle ACD, so this one, is congruent to triangle CAB, so that one. Now, keep in mind, if two triangles are congruent, the way we're going to prove that these are congruent is showing that all sides and all angles are congruent. So remember, when working with a two-column proof, we're going to show our work over here. We're going to write our reasons over here. And starting out, we are always going to start with the given, or at least part of the given. Now, so far we've done kind of informal proofs on this, and we've shown that all the sides are congruent and then all the angles are congruent. So I'm going to start with the sides, and we're already given that AD is congruent to CB, and we're given that DC is congruent to BA, and I'm literally just copying that from the given. So that's two sides that are congruent. Step 2, we need the third side. So if I'm looking at my diagram, I still haven't said anything about AC. Well, both triangles share AC. So we can say that AC is congruent to AC, and the reason, because it's the same thing, that was our reflexive property. So we're pretty much halfway done with our proof here, because we've already shown that all three sides are congruent, but now we have to show that all three angles are congruent. So step 3, I'm going to go back to my given, and I'm going to start looking at the angles. So angle ACD is congruent to angle CAB, and then I can also say angle CAD is congruent to angle ACB. And once again, that's from my given. So then step 4, I just need to prove that the last angle, or the third angle in both triangles, is congruent, which I kind of just hinted at. If I know that this angle is congruent to this angle, that's one angle, and this angle is congruent to this angle, that's another angle, then I can say that the third angle, so angle D, is congruent to angle B, and the reason is because of the third angles theorem. So now I've shown that all the sides are congruent. I've shown that all the angles are congruent. So step 5, we can now conclude that triangle ACD is congruent to triangle CAB, and the reason is that all corresponding parts are congruent.